Welcome to Ed to Me. I'm Phil.
And I'm Tanya. Quite often we're asked, aren't we, how can you help at home with multiplication times tables?
Oh yes, and sometimes the children come home for their homework with this multiplication square.
It's horrendous for them. It's really stressful. Look at all the numbers and lines all over it.
What I want to try and do is simplify this, demystify it, see if we can help children to learn their times table a lot quicker.
Yes, in the early years, children learn to count in twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But really they need to know a lot more detail than that. For example, that 2 times 2 is 4.
Yes, so here's the dreaded grid. Firstly, factors of multiplication are around the outside. So if you wanted to know 3 times 4, for example, where the lines intersect is the answer, 12. It's of great help for children to use both hands and run their fingers along these lines to find the answer, or use a ruler. Let's cross out the tables which are more easily learnt. Ones we can accept as known. 2 times. That's usually learnt readily because counting up in twos, halving and doubling is practiced early on. 5s. Multiples of 5s won't be too tricky because the answer ends in 0 or a 5. 10s. This is also easily learnt because it's the multiple with a 0 on the end. Of course, we can also cross out answers horizontally because they are just the factors reversed of the tables we've already learnt. For example, 8 times 5 is 40, so 5 times 8 is also 40. Tricky multiplication facts are now shrinking. Not so dreadful now. Look at the grid as a times table help sheet and a useful learning tool. Tackle the 3 and 4 times table first and things get even easier. There's a simple learning pattern for the 3s. The digits in the answer always add to either 3, 6 or 9. For example, 3 times 5 is 15. Well, 1 add 5 is 6. Try it for all the answers. 4s are a case of doubling the 2 times table. Look at this. 2 times 4 is 8. Therefore, 4 times 4 is double that, 16. That's the 3s and 4s checked. Now the grid shows there's not so many tables to learn, only a few tricky answers. There are tips in the links below this video which will help tackle these tables.
So, how can we make it verbal? How can we make it visual? How can we make it kinesthetic?
Kinesthetic? What's that mean?
It's using your hands.
Oh yeah, right. So there's the 9 times table is a good one for this trick and a good way to teach children. For example, you hold up all 10 fingers, then you say the times table like 3 times 9. So you go 1, 2, 3, hold down the third finger, here's your 10s and it's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 times 9 is 27. Let's do another one. Okay, 4 times 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold down the fourth finger. Here's the 10s, and it's 1, 2, 3. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 times 9 is 36. So that's a fun way to learn the 9 times table. There are other ways to learn the 6, 7 and 8 times table, and we'll have more videos on the Ed to Me website.
But for the moment, if you click on our link on the Ed to Me website page,
Yes.
You'll be able to get to some easy resources that can help you at home with the multiplication with your children.
Yeah, I mean there are some there that include music and there are just some fun and games.
Yep, there's CDs and there are links to BBC Bite Size, for example.
Great. Okay, so I hope that's helped. Bye.
See ya.
There's the big rooster. And he's taking care of his hens.
Here the apostrophe means that the collar belongs to the dog.